joined right now by one parent, Lizette Rosenblatt, a mother whose daughter was, thankfully, able to escape from the school unharmed. Lizette, first of all...
Today, something new that I would experience.
That was dope as fuck. All right. That just happened.
Right? Okay, so
Swish.
back into it. All right, so last week we skipped some small talk, and we're going to skip it again because there's just a whole bunch of shit going on. I mean, you guys already know I'm Splash Jordan. I'm joined today with King Rick Mills, the producer, sitting across from me. As you guys may or may not have figured out from my last episode, Rick is my new co-host. And want to fill you guys in early. Actually, we can, shoot the shit for a second. Want to fill you guys in on a contest that I did spur of the moment for the podcast that yielded great results. So it's going to come back. And I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, listen, who wants to make some money?
Right.
Follow the show or follow, the Instagram. Follow the show on Instagram and just prove to me that you had played our latest episode, which you could easily have done. If you had heard it, all you had to do was just tag the people that we mentioned. We rattled all. And when people were doing it, I hadn't realized that we had named so many people that we had named, like a whole bunch of people that I forgot we had spoke about. So that was really dope. Everybody who involved had fun. I already know who won because they were just way ahead of anybody else who was participating. I'll, announce their names. I can say their names right now because when you hear this, I'll have already told everybody who won. 2 people, Charlotte, North Carolina. One young lady, Tiffany Gale, and another young lady, Brooke. I forget her full handle, but anyway. So shout out to the 2 of them. As soon as I put it up there, they digested the episode very quickly. The both of them named multiple times every single person we spoke about, and they just showed a lot of love right away. So
awesome.
So shout out to the 2 of them. Stay tuned to figure out what the prize. I'm gonna start doing this once a month towards the end of the month. I've got a prize already lined up for next month. I think that it's gonna be major. I think people will want this more than a $100 cash prize.
Blue faces,
right?
Who don't want a blue face
right?
To fucking listen to some dope shit.
What surprised me is how many people didn't participate. I was a little taken aback by that. Like, of all the podcasts I listen to, none of them have ever offered me an opportunity to win anything, let alone, $100 for just playing the episode and interacting online. So,
absolutely. This some next level. This some radio shit. Like,
that's what they do on the radio.
Chance to win $250. My man Swish just gave out 2 blue faces. That's $200.
That's $200. That's what they do on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So, and mind y'all,
right.
I have a job.
Feel me?
I went to work and got paid and then turned around and paid 2 other people just for listening to the show. So if you didn't participate, then shame on you. That was very, very stupid. Like, you had to do something very simple, and you could have had won $100 just for listening to the show. Next time around, though, you're going to want to participate because it's even larger what I got in store for you. So I'm just glad that I'm able to do a lot of the things I had been talking about I was going to do for the longest time. Even last year I had been said I was going to start, handing out money.
Absolutely. So
I'm in a position now where, a couple of bucks here and there won't hurt me.
Absolutely.
So
that's dope.
Be on the lookout for that. If you like this episode of The Verdict, make sure you're fucking with us on Instagram, House of Splash, Twitter, House of Splash. You can play this episode on my website, thehouseofsplash.com. Make sure you fucking with Rick too. What's your handles, bro?
Follow me on Instagram at LitDVD. Just follow me there.
All right, bet. Okay, cool. So enough fucking around. We got a whole episode with a lot of shit. Fortunately, a lot of times I'm in a window where something major just happened, and I miss it, being able to talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
Or, I touch on something and it ends up being old, by the time the show airs.
Okay.
But fortunately today, man, we're in a shit storm of things to talk about that fit our mold specifically. So I was very excited to come here and, speak my mind on a couple of things. So I started off by going down this list. I was reading an article online. When you go to a person's house or your own house, What's the first thing you do?
Take off my shoes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I tried to not lead you there. But right. Take your shoes off. Now, why do you take your shoes off though? Let me ask you that.
That's just how I've always been. It's like a respect thing. For me, that's what it is for me. It's a respect thing. You know, you walk in the house, you take your fucking shoes off. You don't want to be tracking in fucking shit on people's floors and shit at home.
Exactly. You know, a lot of people don't do that because, you know, they feel it might be disrespectful to come to another person's house, take their shoes off. A lot of people don't take their shoes off in their own home because maybe they forgot or because they're distracted or because they don't do that. The article was basically telling me you carrying shit like E. coli into your house. You carrying salmonella into your house. Like the shit that's on your shoes, there's so many like fatal diseases that are just like on the, like if you went home and put one of your shoes into your mouth, guarantee you'd be dead by morning.
That's fucking crazy.
Guarantee you'd be dead by morning. If you put that shoe in your mouth, you're going to die.
But yeah, I heard about that too. They were saying like in other countries, they can't believe the culture here.
Right.
How acceptable that is.
Blown away.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Right, because in most other countries, you know, it's just normal. They take your shoes off at the door.
And it makes sense.
And there's usually like a mechanism or piece of furniture that most people have across seas right there at the door where you hold your shoes.
Designated for...
designated for your shoes.
So,
or an area at least where you can put your shoes. So I thought that was interesting just because, you know, just like with the whole hand washing situation, you know, it's just weird how your whole life you behave a certain way thinking like, oh, I'm doing something. I'm not taking my shoes off in a person's house is the norm. But in all actuality, you just brought fucking salmonella and E. coli and listeria into a person's house.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you putting it all on they carpet. You know, if they got kids running around touching everything. So, you know, public service announcement. So number one, you know, good thing about this podcast, not only do we joke around and we tell you the real shit, we also tell you how to live your life.
Real. Get your mind right.
Get your mind right. Do not use that hand dryer in the bathroom.
Yo, you blowing shit particles.
Shit particles everywhere.
Right before you go eat a fucking burger at Highway 55.
Exactly. Wondering why your stomach bubbling up afterwards. It wasn't the grease. It was the shit that's literally on your hands. Literally. Number two, take your shoes off when you go in the house. Off. Shoes off.
And, you know, because, you know, people is, and with that culture, you know, statement, you know, over here, you know, we put so much emphasis on, you know, footwear, you know, how much money people spend on shoes and whatnot. So, you know, that's even crazy. You know, take your shoes off, man.
Take your shoes off. All right. Okay, so enough of the shoes. Moving on. The FOSTA, I don't really know what it is, but it's a sex workers bill. That was very, very big in the news recently because it shut down sites like Backpage. It shut down the Craigslist personal section.
Bro, what is this?
It shut down any site where, you know, people was out there really just very bold about how they was getting it. Which, I mean, I know there's a lot of people who were like, man, what the fuck? There's a lot of people who had to go get a real job.
Yo.
You know, there's a lot of people who had to go back to the street.
Yeah.
You know, it really, really
fucked up
some business for a lot of people. You know, I've seen people say, oh, you know, if you was really getting it, you could still go out here and get it. Which, you know, yeah, but if you're doing something from the internet versus standing outside all day for, you know, however many hours, I mean, it just stands the reason you was working a lot smarter than you was harder.
Absolutely.
And now you got to go out there and like actually be in the element, be seen. And, you know, I think that, you know, for a lot of them, it'll probably, you know, discourage them from living that lifestyle, which if it's not for you, then it's not for you. You need to.
Absolutely.
What killed me about that anyway, since we're on that, is like how many people were prepared, how many people that I know is prepared to go that route. You know what I'm saying? As if there's no other options. Now, I get doing what you got to do.
Right.
And I also get, you know, wanting to live a certain lifestyle. Some people, that's how they want to do things. But a lot of people that I know who resort to that way of living, they're just like, you know, oh, I'm going to get mines, you know. But it's just like, yo, you never even tried to get a job. You never even tried to, like, learn a trade. You know, it's just like you just going to lay on your back.
Take the easy way out.
Right, for through your whole 20s.
Right.
So,
right.
You know.
Young, you know, and absolutely. Yeah, so I feel you on that.
Right. So I just thought that, that was interesting to see. And it's been interesting because a number of clone sites have popped up, and people, there's just a lot of scams going on. I myself haven't figured out how to get in on the scamming. I've just been a little busy, but trust and believe. Trust and believe.
I mean, we looking. Like you said, absolutely, it's going, force some people to, have a change of heart about the whole situation. If you don't have the heart for it, because of course it's going to, change the risk factor of it. But just like with anything else doing illegal, it's a risk factor. So that the net definitely provided that safety net for them. So you got to get back out there in the streets and in them bars. And
I imagine that we'll see a lot less, flexing on the gram, at least for the time being, because, for them, it was so easy to post on whatever they were posting, get their money, they live in a certain lifestyle. But now it's just like, okay, well, you don't have these options now. Now what are you going to do?
Hopefully, probably fucking working off of a fucking clientele.
Most likely. So anyway, moving on from that, that's a development we'll be watching over the next couple of months. I want to,
feel me?
Right. I want to make sure all my fans know exactly what's going on with the sex workers. So moving on from there was a shooting recently at Waffle House.
Oh yeah.
I don't know much about the Waffle House shooting, other than there was a 29-year-old white man.
Yeah.
He rolled up to the Waffle House. I guess he knew he was going to do what he did beforehand.
Okay.
I don't know what type of weapon he used. I'm going to guess AR-15.
Yeah.
But don't hold me to that. But I'm going to guess it was an AR-15. What I do know is that he had the weapon taken from him at a prior altercation, and the FBI gave the weapon back to his father.
Oh wow.
Who had told him and his father, like, yo, you can't have guns. You cannot get another license. You're not allowed to have these types of things. And the father gave him the gun anyway.
That's fucking crazy.
Right. So a lot of people are like, okay, should the father be charged because you knew that, he had a history and that
absolutely
the authorities felt like he shouldn't have weapons like this, and you gave it to him anyway.
Anyway, I would definitely suggest that as well.
So you agree that the father should be charged?
Absolutely. I mean, you just got to use common sense sometimes, not as sometimes, at all times, for the FBI to be involved. I mean, just come on, look. I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Okay, all right, I'm with you there. I agree. I think that the father should be charged. I think that he's responsible in some way.
How old was the waffle killer?
29.
Oh, 29, you said that.
29-year-old white dude. It was so crazy, man. Like, the image of a black man with tattoos and dreads, that used to be the scariest thing that you could put on the TV. But now, it's a young white dude. A young white dude is the one who, shooting
right.
up these people, shooting places.
Yeah, man. And that needs to be known. Let that be known. That's the,
if you were to, like, when you think of the word terrorist and you're thinking about how they look in the Middle East, okay, sure. They might be brown and they might have turbans. That's how your average terrorist looks over there.
And hold on, he wasn't shot or anything like that?
Who, the Waffle House killer?
Yeah.
I think he was apprehended. I used air quotes when I said apprehended. But I don't believe that he was injured when he was recovered.
And he how many people did he kill?
I believe the 4 is the count.
And that's what I heard too. That's what bothers me, even more, is the repeated incidents where we see, like, as we just said, with the real face to be feared now. But every time, this type of situation happens, was it just Las Vegas? The crazy situation. These guys are always, taken into custody peacefully.
Peacefully. They always get caught. They always get captured, and they always get, transported to wherever they got to go. Usually, I mean, if you're a black man and you're in your grandma's backyard, then it's bang, bang, bang on sight. It's police, stop or I'll shoot. Bang, 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 bang.
That's what's crazy to me.
You know what I'm saying? They got the gun drawn already, pointed at you, like, stop or I'll shoot. Bang, bang, bang. So, but, you know, if it's a white, you know, suspect, then it's like, you know, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
I mean,
put your hands on the ground.
It is what it is.
You know what, though? I take that back. I saw a video, right? And the internet has completely desensitized me. But I saw a video of a police officer gunning down an unarmed white man in a hotel, like, hallway.
Really?
Like, he gunned him down, bro.
For no reason. Now, I've seen a couple videos, you know, as well, you know, where, you know, the cops have shot in a white, you know, person.
They'll let it fly. Now that I think about it, they will shoot you no matter what color you are.
Even and you know, even to keep it a band, a few years back when the Wall Street situation had happened, it was a huge situation where I think Wall Street
talking about
crashed.
Occupy and all that?
And yeah.
Right.
So, you know, when the riots were going on and shit, if you paid attention, you know, the police were out there fucking up white people, just how they would do a black person.
Right. I mean, you know, younger white crowd was out there. There wasn't many black people to fuck up out there, so they had to take their frustration out on somebody. You know, they were like, damn, there's no black people, so who's the youngest white man here? You about to get your ass beat.
Right the fuck.
About to fuck you up. Who's the youngest? Line them up. And they start clubbing them motherfuckers.
Yeah, man, but you know, but seriously, you know, all of these, you know, these people are killing people. Like, you notice going into this. Yeah, we've seen a few videos where, you know, you shooting and you killing a white person as well, like you do a black person, but it's on no level of what we're seeing, you know, over, you know, traffic stops, simple, you know, dumb shit. Like, you know, it's ridiculous.
Right. So they got him in custody.
Yeah.
You know, more details to be determined. But shout out to the dude, though, who, I guess there was an unarmed black man in the Waffle House.
Yeah.
Who I think wrestled the weapon from him.
Right.
He disarmed the shooter, and you know, he goes on to live in infamy. I saw a meme that was basically like, you know, an unarmed black man at whatever time in Waffle House disarmed, you know, an active shooter with an assault, with an automatic or assault rifle, whatever word you're supposed to use.
Right.
But one guy had a gun and one guy didn't, you know. And so they were saying basically, like, you know, black men are feared because, you know, they have, you know, superpowers, obviously. Like if I'm a black man and there's another man in my area and he has a weapon and he's shooting, I'm like fleeing the scene. Like, nah, fuck this. You know, I'm out of here. But, you know, I'm sure that particular individual, there was somebody he had on his mind, and he was like, "Yo, I'm leaving here to go be with this person, and you not stopping me,
right,
under no circumstances." So he disarmed him. I would have loved to have seen that. Like, damn, like that nigga's whooping his ass. Like, bro, he got a gun. Don't do it. Oh, damn, do it. Do it.
Oh, shit.
Like, he's knocking this nigga out.
He did that shit, fool.
He definitely did that shit. So shouts out to him, man. You know, they need to put his face on a statue or something, because it probably would have gotten, you know, way. The echo just got like mad strong in this bitch. But yeah, it probably would have gotten way out of hand had, you know, he not stepped in and done what he done. So yeah, shout out to him. I forgot his name. You know, you nameless guy, but definitely, you know, you're a true hero and a gentleman. So off of that, I also want to say that the Golden State Killer was white. Yep. And he was a former police officer. So there's a trend with police officers killing people, you know, in America. Like, if we could wake up and stop, you know, being mad at, you know, stupid shit, we would see that, like, you know, giving guns to people who couldn't make it in the military or people who were bullied in high school, just giving guns to whomever and not properly training them on sensitivity and how to use this and how to talk to people, you know, seems to be the problem. Like, I'm not saying we should take nobody's guns away. You can't take nobody's guns away. Everybody has guns at this point. Right. So just saying, oh, you taking the guns away. No, because people still got them. Right. They still got them. So as long as somebody else got them, I don't like guns. I don't, you know what I'm saying, typically like to, you know, be around the gun, but I understand, you know, it has a purpose. Right. It has a purpose. So I wanted to quickly run through those things that I didn't really give a fuck about, so that I could get to a couple of topics that have been burning me up all day, burning me up inside. So I'm gonna start with the Kanye West Twitter rants.
Easy taught me.
Right. So are you familiar with what Kanye West has been doing and saying on the internet over the last, let's say, I don't know, 70, since the last time we talked about Kanye West and he name dropped all those albums that were going to come out, Kid Cudi, Nas, Pusha T, himself, I think Tiana Taylor, he said as well. So he then went on to say a couple of other things, be seen. You know, how do you feel about how he's acted?
I think Kanye needs a big ass check right now. He needs a return on his fucking album, on everything that his name is on that he's getting ready to drop right now. And that's just it. You know? I think he's the evil genius at this point.
So what are you saying? You think that he's trolling? You think that he doesn't really feel the way he feels? Or he's just doing this for sales? Or
I think it's a mixture. You know, people have a right to be who the fuck they are and how the fuck they feel and express that and not, owe anything to anybody. He just happens to be, Kanye West. But I think it has a lot to do with this album he's getting ready to drop.
Damn. I really wish you didn't feel that way.
Really?
Because that's how I feel about the situation.
Okay.
So I wanted to lay into you and tell you how wrong you were.
Okay,
but
yeah.
We're kind of seeing it the same way.
Yeah.
When I woke up this morning, I saw a lot of, slander for Mr. West.
That's all I fucking see.
Which, if you don't know me, that's a trigger. That's a trigger.
Hey, look.
I'm triggered. I was triggered early.
Hey.
I was triggered early. Like, hey. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Yeezy taught me.
Watch your mouth is all I'm gonna say. Like, y'all really just out here speaking on, and it killed me because I feel like we always do this to people who represent anything, just something. Is that we super overanalyze their every action, but we let everybody else just get away with whatever that they're gonna do. A lot of people were upset that Kanye was supporting Trump, and I fuck Trump. I don't support Trump.
Fuck Donald
Trump. I don't care if somebody else does. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck you because you support Donald Trump.
Right.
Like, that would be as crazy as me saying I support you because you support Hillary Clinton. Like,
feel me?
I mean, so what are my options? It's a lose-lose option, either way. That's number one. And number two, I guess because Donald Trump represents a lot of, what's wrong and what's sour and what's festering right now in America. But, we reward people like the Migos who selling drugs to their community, who, we reward people like, Reuben Foster, that's the gentleman who hit his girlfriend and broke her jaw.
From the NFL.
You're right, from the NFL.
Okay, yeah. Crazy. No, you're absolutely right, though. We glorify these people.
We glorify them.
These actions. We reward them, like you said. And it is what it is. I mean, we got to wake up. We can't, first, people say, the president doesn't have any, real power himself. It's just a true reflection of what the fuck is going on, first of all. And it is what it is. I mean, what the fuck? And if Trump is to me, is about money, and trying to preserve his fucking money. And people with not as much money don't really understand, certain things. Right. Like, Trump doesn't care really who or what you are. If you white, black, Hispanic, whatever. Trump cares if you rich or not. And rich to him ain't $250,000 or even $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Trump cares about a certain tax bracket. And if you outside of that tax bracket, then fuck you. Brackets. And if you inside, then, we can talk. That's all Trump really cares about is people inside a particular tax bracket. And people, I just say people fear what they don't understand. So until you tap into a certain bracket, you really don't get it. Like I hear Cardi B, like, wanting to know, like, yo, where the fuck is my money going? Where's my tax money going? Like, all this money you taking from me for, You know, like I don't know how the tax brackets work. So let's say somebody makes $1 million and they tax them $250,000, and you just like, why the fuck are you just taking like that's a, you know, for somebody who just get, you know, so.
Right, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that you should post. When you get like super huge checks like that, there's ways that you can get around. There's loopholes and all that. A lot of people, what they do is that they throw the money in the bank and then they're like, oh, I got $1 million. Well, you know, no, you made a lot more than the average person. So you got taxed, you know, more than the average person. You can't tax me for $1 million.
Right.
I don't fucking have $1 million. So if you do, then you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I get it. People are like, all right, well, I'm fine with that. But where's the money going? Because you know, there's probably a lot of, you know, successful people from Chicago, and they want to know, well, damn, where's my money going?
Absolutely.
My city is still upside down. People from Michigan are like, yo, I'm paying all this money in taxes, but
where is the fucking
where is it going? Where is it going? But it's going to the same place it's been going, which is the military. You know, bombs, weapons, you know, they got all types of new guns that's about to hit the market, all types of new weapons of mass destruction that's about to hit the market. That's where the money goes, if you didn't know. You know, you can almost like, if you're looking at your taxes, you can almost dollar for dollar find this amount of funding in military. You know what I'm saying? The amount that's collected in taxes is basically
crazy.
Like, you know, being spent, you know, in vast majorities on the military. The military is the nicest thing we got. And that's why we stay in other countries, because it's like, this is the shiniest toy that I have. So fuck yeah, you niggas, like, y'all go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spent so much money on this military. You fuck right, we're gonna be everywhere showing it off. Like, we got the nicest military, the largest, the biggest, baddest, quickest, strongest, silentest weapons. Like, so
G shit.
You know, so I just thought that it was strange that, you know, we can, you know, pick a man apart because of his political preference. Like, I mean, he's a Republican. Kanye has a lot of money. The Kardashians have a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So, you know, his values are lined up with people who respect a lot of money.
Didn't he like his last tour got canceled or some shit, and there was like a lot of fucking money that he had to like still pay out for some shit. So
something like that. He had to take a break because he was doing too much. So, you know,
he got a lot of money to make up for right now, you know. So I feel like with the tactics, you know, he better believe, you know, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, common sense, that he's not doing this, you know, just to be telling people to be pissing people off right now.
Right, to be pissing people off. So, which was crazy to me because, and this is a timely segue, because a lot of people were saying how, you know, they're done with Kanye and, you know, they're not going to listen to his music based off of who he supports as a president. But these same people would still watch the Cosby Show. And Bill Cosby, he was, you know, convicted today, you know, found guilty on all his charges of sexual indecency. You know, like, this man's been found guilty. You know, these are the same people who listened to R. Kelly 10, 15 years after he peed on a little girl.
Right. And that great point, man. And I think, like I said, you know, Kanye West has his own family, his own legacy to live for. You know, a lot of people playing that card, and, you know, for us and, you know, for black people. But at the end of the day, you know, when you having, you know, those money problems, you know, black people just not coming to the rescue, like, as a people, like, we just not there, like, you know, so people got to do what they have to do. You know, when Kanye West stood up and said that, you know, George Bush doesn't care about black people, you know, he literally, like, he was there for, like, a people, you know what I'm saying? And, like, after that, he was still, you know, judged for silly shit.
Right. So it's like, you know, I saw that too. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, we want the same dude who, you know, said George Bush doesn't care about black people. I'm like, yo, y'all fucking scared him away. You ran him off.
I mean, if he was the only person, I mean, who was bold enough, I mean, like, everybody remembers that. Dude, I remember he was fucking sweating. It was real. So he did that for us, and, like, we didn't, like, put him on the same pedestal as a ex or king. You know, we dumbed it down. In fact, you know, a lot of people, you know, that was like the beginning
where a lot of people, jump ship. So, I mean, he's had more support, more embracement from, a demographic that doesn't look like me or you.
That brings up one other point I want about this situation. We, to keep it a band, we not out here buying, we not doing the numbers for real. That's with this music shit right now. When I look at Ye standing on the motherfucking platform like a fucking the mothership, and it's fucking like it's a sea of fucking white people.
Right.
Just to keep it a band, yeah, it's cool. We support, but we don't support, the financial way, and it's not substantial enough to where, you should care enough about people's opinions and feelings, when you're talking about financially, being straight.
You're right about that, man. So I just want to, set the record straight, man. So Kanye's a friend of the show. I'm allowing him, the personal pleasure to fucking, support whatever candidate he wants. I don't vote. So if he does or doesn't support any of the candidates, it doesn't mean anything to me, because it's a pointless.
All right, people going. I love Ye for his fucking his music, and for other reasons. But speaking of that, did you hear the fucking snip snap drip drop?
The fucking Make America Great freestyle? First of all, it's not a freestyle. It is a catchy one-liner. It's just nothing. I don't allow myself to get, excited about that.
Man.
I'm excited about his CD though. I'm very excited. So that right there didn't do anything for me, but I'm excited for his music. I've been excited when I saw him finally say the album date, and I knew that he had been in the studio with Cudi. I knew that Nas had been there. I knew that Sci-Hi the Prince had been there. I knew he had been in the studio with Spitters and his people who he could lean on. I knew that. So I'm excited either way. I'm excited either way. So speaking of Nas, though, we're gonna skip on down. First, one more thing about Kanye. I saw a lot of people say he was in the Sunken Place and Get Out Part 2. This is what I want to say. You have to be in the Sunken Place to know who else in the Sunken Place. I don't know who in the Sunken Place. I don't know what the Sunken Place look like. I don't know how you get in or how you get out, because I'm fucking living my life. So if you over here and you can see a nigga in the Sunken Place, you might want to look around and think to yourself, damn, I'm in the Sunken Place. Because if you remember, if you watch Get Out, when he met old buddy who was in the Sunken Place, he had no idea that this man was in the Sunken Place. He just knew something was just a tad whatever, but he couldn't see him inside the Sunken Place. You don't know if another person's in there.
Message.
Right, but when you in there, you probably know what's going on.
Right.
So, that's all I got to say about saying who is and who ain't in the Sunken Place. Like,
feel me? You don't have to. Hey, man, just live your life. Right. So, moving on to some weird shit between not only Nas and Khalees, but Fabulous and Emily B. Which one you want to hear about first? Let's Nas. Let's do Nas.
All right. So Khalees is basically saying that she suffered mental and physical abuse at the hands of Nasir during their marriage. I don't believe her.
Is it Uchi Wally Wally or is it one mic?
And I hate saying that because, I don't want to be like when a person's crying out for help, I don't want to say I don't believe you. However, they got divorced in like 2012. So you already been divorced for a number of years. Not only did you not bring any of these things up when you were married, you didn't bring them up at any point in time after you got divorced. Not only that, Nas and Khalees, they were in a bitter custody battle. And I'm pretty sure they still are. And there's a whole bunch of things about finances on the table. The spousal support was lowered from $45K to $25K. And, they've been back and forth in the news. And Nas, he recently had ownership in a company that was bought by Amazon. Supposedly, he got about a $40 million check from his stake in the organization. But I just thought, like, okay, there were so many other times when you could have released this information after the fact, and you could have had destroyed them. You were in a custody battle. You did not. You wanted to have control. You wanted to paint him to be a bad person. I've had brothers who've been in custody battles, so
Okay.
I'm already knowing that you're
Right.
saying the worst things that you're saying about each other
When it comes to a custody battle.
when it comes to a custody battle. Why did you not at that point in time? If you had been like, "Yo, this nigga was in there hitting me, and he was in there making me feel like X, Y, and Z,"
that would have absolutely been brought up in a custody battle.
that would have absolutely been brought up, but it wasn't. So it's like now that he got some money, now that you're not getting as much money, and now that you know an album's on the way, here you come. Here you come saying, well,
It's crazy.
when a person asked her point blank, he said, "Did he hit you?" Her response was, "We fought." She had to think about it for a second. So that's telling me you in there passing licks. This goes back to last week. When you say that, like,
Yeah.
domestic violence and fighting is two different things. Domestic violence is usually like one-sided. It's like a man beating a woman or a woman beating a man or, whatever. But once an exchange of blows is going back and forth, this is a fight. This is a fight. This is two people fighting. And I just don't believe her. And I mean, I've always thought Khalees was a stand-up person, but I just don't believe her.
So when she was asked, she hesitated.
She hesitated.
She thought about it, and then she said, like, we fought.
That's exactly what happened.
And the person just straight up asked her, did he hit you? Did Nas hit you?
That was her response to that question.
And yeah, so that would definitely raise some questions to me. Not condoning any type of, man putting his hands on a female at all, but definitely raise some questions.
Right. I mean, it's
A motherfucker beating your ass. A motherfucker just put their hands on you because y'all disagreeing. And the motherfucker asks you, "Yo, did he hit you?" Yeah.
Yeah, he hit me.
You have nothing to protect this person from, because at this point you're going public about it. So it's not like you're going to say, you're not going to sugarcoat or, lightfoot around the situation at this point because you brought it to the light.
You brought it to the light. Like, yeah, he hit me.
So as a motherfucker just say, "Yo, straight up and down, did this motherfucker hit you?" The response should just be yes.
Yes, he hit me.
I would assume, you know what I'm saying?
I felt scared. Her response was hesitation. We fought. So I was just like, you know what, Khalees, man, go ahead, man, because you tripping already. Just like Emily B tripping. So we had, we mentioned Emily B last week because she was, accusing Fabulous of,
I do get
domestic violence. Supposedly, somebody said that he hit her in the face 7 times and knocked out
a tooth or some shit, right?
multiple teeth. So, and we were like, you know what, Fabulous, you're a monster. You're a monster. And this is why, and this is what makes shit like that even worse, is because we cut Fabulous. I mean, Fabulous is like, in my opinion, I wouldn't call him like the best rapper, but he's in my top 10 of favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I've listened to him ever since I feel like he started rapping. Like, I've listened to him his whole career. As soon as I felt like, okay, you out here beating women, my nigga, like you're a monster and I can't rock with you. Like, I hate that I have to do this, but right. I cannot support this type of behavior.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why is Emily B and Fabulous spotted together at Coachella?
So what is this?
They was together, my nigga. Cooling.
Booling.
And I was just like, yo, like, this is why don't nobody ever jump when y'all, 20 years from now, when you're like, oh, he was stabbing me, niggas is gonna be like, well, what you want me to do?
It definitely, makes it tough.
What are y'all doing? What do y'all really want to have happen?
Has there been like any statements or anything about that?
There's nothing official going on. I wouldn't know if there was because that's not the type of thing that I keep up with.
Right.
But when somebody did tip me off to that, and I knew that we had spoke about domestic violence, and that was something that was relatable. And so when I researched for myself, I was like, yo, fuck yeah, they are together. Like, why are they together right now?
Right.
Cooling.
Booling.
Right, in front of everybody. They're at a festival and they're together knowing that, he's still being, charged for this. So, hopefully they work through it. I love to see when people work through things, but I would just rather people work through things in private.
And that's the whole thing about it. Handle your shit in private, man, because just handle your shit in private, man, because when you got to, put together the pieces like that, you got shit like this going on, people looking at you with the side eye because you was just crying. You got the whole world looking at this man as a monster. Yeah, man, get that shit, get your mind right.
All right, so enough of all of that. I actually don't have a rapper who went to jail this week. I probably could Google it right quick, but we do have another case of a rapper getting out of jail.
Oh yeah.
And so we want to welcome home Meek Mill. I was one of the people who thought that Meek Mill would not see the outside of jail for a very long time. Apparently that wasn't the case. I hope he stays out of jail. When he came home, I just thought, like, I just hate that fake love. Like, there's so many people who are welcoming him home, and I'm glad that he's out of jail.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that he's back. He has another opportunity to live his life and to do things the right way.
Right.
And, I don't wish jail on nobody. But I was kind of taken aback because I was like, yo, there's a lot of Meek Mill love on my timeline right now. Where did these Meek Mill fans come from? Where they coming from?
And that's the way, even touching back with the Kanye situation, you have to look at, understand that people, they love you, they hate you, and they fucking love you again. And that's just what it is,
But do we really think that, like, Beyonce and her homegirls is riding around the hood hollering free Meek? Like, is that what we really think is going on? I mean, that's what she said. That's what Beyonce wants me to think. She in the hood hollering free Meek.
Man, it's a fucking song, man.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Like, I mean, not only that, they shouted Meek out twice in that song.
And he shouted out Jay-Z and Rock Nation, when he got out.
Right, he stood
part of that.
He stood by Meek a lot closer, I would say, than he stood by Beanie Siegel.
Damn.
Beanie Siegel was like, yo, Jay never came in there to holler at me. But, Beanie Siegel's also a different type of person. So, I don't blame Jay for not going to see Beanie Siegel. But at the same time, it's just like, let's not forget.
I heard somebody mention that he did not mention Rick Ross or Maybach Music, though, in, thanking people. First, I know he thanked God, his mother, his family, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, but nowhere was Rick Ross and MMG mentioned, which was kind of weird.
It's not that weird. There's been beef with Meek Mill and the rest of MMG.
I know, like Wale.
Right. I think that Ross has a lot of health issues. You haven't seen Ross. It's not like you've seen Ross at the awards.
This is true.
And he didn't go holler at me. Like, Ross just has some shit going on with him.
But still, like, nah, fuck that.
Nah.
He's on your label.
I don't think there will never be a problem between Meek Mill and Rick Ross.
Just what it is being to me a little bit weird about, with that situation. I'm not, being even mentioned with him being a part of, him getting out to me.
He probably didn't have anything to do with him getting out. I feel like
I could dig that if
there was other people, who were working hard to get him out. However, I don't think that there's no love lost between.
I could dig that.
Meek Mill and Rick Ross.
I could dig that.
Wale, but while that's the thing people gotta understand. These rapper guys, they're not friends. They're not friends. No matter how hard they get you to, they want you to believe that they're friends. They're not fucking friends.
And what I will say is what I've noticed. I've been noticing that Jay-Z has been making, I feel like, a lot of power moves on behalf of his Jay-Z and Rock Nation. I think they just brought like Tupac's catalog. So just like, I don't know, he's like really like, to me, I've been noticing a few things that he's been doing on some real big brother shit as far as,
he's cementing
some muscle.
He's cementing his legacy. I mean, at this point, I think that we're going to see Jay-Z rapping and making music a lot less. And he's getting into, these other avenues and paying more attention to that. So, so welcome home, Meek Mill. Personally, I hope he stays out. I don't think that he'll stay out. I think that he'll find himself a nice new situation to get into early. But if not, and he's learned something, then that would be the best thing. That would be the best thing, because I do love to see a black man get paid, which is another perfect segue, because I want to give an update to my Cole review from last week.
Oh, yeah.
Last week I said I wasn't feeling it.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And I said the reasons why I wasn't feeling it. Now, those reasons are still true. All the reasons I stated are still true. However, I found a lot more reasons to love it. And I do. I mean, I really, really enjoy it. It's held back by the things that I said, the production, the lack of features, the direction and the focus. But, when I heard some of the songs for the third and fourth time and I really digested some of the lyrics, I was impressed and I liked it. But there were some things that could have had made it like a classic album. But as it stands right now, it's just, very good. But that's all I can hope for. That's really all I can hope for.
Yeah, it's dope. I still haven't listened to it in its entirety, but the tracks that I have heard, I must say, have been dope. Like that fucking ATM, man.
ATM, man, like Cole could send his kids to college off of how many times I played ATM.
And he broke the fucking like iTunes,
right?
Did some like, so big ups to Cole, man.
Big ups to Cole, man.
Definitely big ups to Cole, man. More or less, stick to your guns, do what you do, stay true to you. Put your all into it, man, and you too can break iTunes.
Right, that was crazy to see him do that. It really just was. It was just a reminder, and I'm glad that his fans supported him the way that they did, because it was a reminder to other people, like, you only exist and your position's only what it is because I wasn't around at that moment. For him to get that many streams, that many sales, he did 150K pure album sales first week. He's done made so much money, and the album's still a week old.
1 week.
1 week. When you're hearing this episode, the album will also be, will have turned 1 week old. But so, I think that there's a long tail on it. He's got several other songs that I think will come out and be major. Shout out to Scott Lazarus too. That's like his he's the director of visuals for Cole.
Man,
I've actually met Scott. I want to say on more than one occasion. I've got a gentleman who,
dope.
Shout out to Frank Zones. I think, I don't know if Frank's been on The Verdict yet. That's a name that a lot of people would know. Frank's actually plugged me in with a lot of people who have gone on to the next level. They've been called up to the show.
Cool.
So he and I, we're waiting on our turn. Hopefully, we're
right.
next.
Absolutely.
So that's, say what?
That ATM visual was fucking
ATM
bananas.
And the Kevin Hart. Have you seen Kevin's Hart?
Man, Cole also did the you seen the joint with Royce the 5'9"?
Boblo Boat?
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
Dope too.
It's all right. I'm not as impressed by that song as they want me to be.
The visual, I mean, not the song really. I just like the
you're saying
visual
that
of it.
You're saying that Cole's camp directed that as well.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Cole, I think he did that or some shit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to go check the video out again. I've seen it several times. That's all I got on, rappers.
Okay.
I did have one other point, but it seems to have escaped me. But we're getting to be about that time, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up with 2 truths and 1 con. So I'm gonna keep that theme going. So 2 of these things happened, right? One of them did not happen.
Okay.
2 of these things 2 of these instances occurred in real life. One of them, not so much. All right. So I'm gonna read all.
You got me the last time.
I did.
You got me good.
I'm gonna read all 3.
Not this week.
I'm gonna just read them straight through. I'll read all 3. I'll give you a minute.
All right.
And then if you need to hear any more again, I'll read them over. All right.
Let's go.
All right, so here's the first one. Okay, so the first one is about a 30-something-year-old man in Charlotte, North Carolina. He was arrested for punching a female bartender in the face over a $2.50 tab. So he was charged with aggravated assault. But bottom line is that he was a 30-something-year-old man. He was arguing with a female bartender over a $2.50 tab, punched her in the face. Second instance, interestingly enough, also occurred in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is 17s arrested and charged with murder after they broke into a family member's house. And so a family member of one of the teens, they broke into one of their houses and, they were trying to steal some things and ended up shooting the person that lived there. It was somebody's grandma. So 3 of the individuals were caught and they told on 4 of the other people. So all 7 of them went down, being charged for murder.
7 people.
7 people. You following me so far?
Yeah. All right.
All right. So last one I got for you is a 22-year-old man who was arrested in Washington, D.C. for filing a false police report claiming he was assaulted by the KKK.
Damn. All right. Say that one more time.
You want all three of them one more time?
Just the last one.
All right, the last one was a 22-year-old man who was arrested in Washington, D.C. for filing a false police report claiming he was assaulted by the KKK.
All right, this week is tough, man. So we got a 30-year-old dude who punched a bartender in the face for fucking $2.50 in Charlotte. And in Charlotte, we got 7 motherfuckers who broke into somebody's house out of the crew that they knew, and they end up killing the grandma or some shit.
Right.
And then we got 22-year-old in D.C. who got arrested for filing a false report on the KKK.
Which one? Which one's a fake?
You getting good at this shit, man.
See, I told you beforehand, man. When I spend that time, but like, you got me in my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're getting good at this shit, Splash. Is fucking two of these shit is true.
2 of these is true, man. Listen, man, you got the old Splash here, man. You lucked up. The prepared, the ready, you got the old one, man. You lucked up, dog. So
30-one of these. So which one is fake?
Which one is fake?
250. 7. That's crazy. These young kids is wild. 22 year in DC.
Which one's fake, bro?
The one. All right. I don't say it's maybe not such a fucking huge fucking Ku Klux Klan presence in DC. I'm gonna just go with that one as fake. I don't know, man. It's tough.
All right. So what's that you said? You said the 22-year-old in Washington, D.C. was fake?
I guess, man. It's tough, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
That's the fake one. Damn.
That's you getting good as fuck with this shit, man. I'm telling you, it was just only, like I said, my reasoning with that was I wouldn't assume that there was just a heavy Ku Klux Klan presence in DC. I won't say what I really want to say, but but yeah, man. So I got it.
All right. Bet. Okay, then. Well,
but hold the fuck up, man. So motherfucker punched a motherfucker in the face.
Yeah. So a 30-something-year-old man punched a woman in the face over $2.50.
Crazy. Damn.
So what is this?
$2.50.
And 7 motherfuckers robbed they grandma or some
I got
shit.
some of the facts on that one wrong. I kind of got some of the facts on that like a little hazy.
Yeah.
But the overall gist of it is that's what's happened.
Yes.
So that something along the lines of that nature happened. So one thing that I forgot to talk about though, by the time you hear this episode, the new Avengers movie will be out.
Okay.
So
I heard
don't know.
about that.
I don't know about you, but I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah.
Little Bert, Chris Evans has confirmed that Captain America will die in this movie.
Wow.
This is also
That's huge.
This is the end of his contract, his film contract through Marvel. So he's ready to take a break. So Chris Evans most likely will die in the movie. You're only going to get to see him one more time. So I imagine there'll be at least 1 to 2 fight scenes where he's really getting off for old time's sake.
Damn, man.
For old time's sake. But
let's get it.
Right. So definitely check that out. King T'Challa will be back in on the screen. You can't see me, but I just saluted you in Wakandan.
He did.
So the King will be back. I'm sure we'll see at least one very good fight scene with him in it. And I can't wait for that. Another dope movie that I saw that's coming soon is actually Venom.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
If you guys don't know Venom, he's a classic villain, Marvel villain. He fights Spider-Man on a number of occasions. I don't like that they're kind of trying to make him a good guy. He's like not a bad guy, but he's also not a good guy. Okay. Venom's a bad guy.
Yeah,
he's a
keep
bad
it
guy.
that way, right?
He kills people.
He fucking fought Spider-Man.
He fights Spider-Man because he hates Spider-Man.
Fuck.
He, attempted to kill Mary Jane on multiple occasions.
Bad guy.
He's a bad guy, man. He's a bad dude.
Keep that same energy.
But anyway, man, I'm out of gas. So definitely thanks for everybody for fucking with the contest. I will announce another contest soon for the month of May. You know, if you like this episode, like I said, of The Verdict, you can fuck with us on Instagram and Twitter at House of Splash. You can play this episode on iTunes. You can play it on iHeart, TuneIn. You can play it on Stitcher, Castbox. Spotify is on the way. I'm waiting on a pending to turn into an approved.
Okay,
and
cool.
Spotify will be, available as well. But you can play it right from, any device on my website, thehouseofsplash.com. Check it out. Rick, where can they fuck with you?
Follow me on Instagram at LitDVD, at LITDVD. Yeah, man, fuck with that.
I bet. And what about like your music videos though? Like, don't you have a website where people can go like look at your music videos?
Yeah. Like a lot of the previews is on the Instagram at LitDVD. You can check out my YouTube. It's Rick Mills, the producer, RICKTHE. Producer, PRODUCER.
And I'm not fixing that. Nigga.
Rick Mills. Hold on now. I forgot Mills. I knew I was forgetting something. That's why I paused. Rick Mills. RICKMILLSTHEPRODUCER. All regular spelling, man. No Z, no duh. All regular spelling.
All right, facts. So, other than that, we out of here.
Oh, peace.